Hello, good morning. My name is Alan Twigg and I'm the creator of an online course called Plant-Based Heroes. It's a course, an online course on how we can switch from a normal diet or whatever diet we're on at the moment to a plant-based diet. And I created this course because there are so many things to consider. And I know from my own experience, I made the switch 5 years ago. I know there are lots of things that I had absolutely no idea about when I first started out. And I think we're the same, aren't we? I think most of us don't really think too much about food. We've heard about protein, we've heard about calcium, we've heard about how important it is to eat meat and dairy. But the world's changing in more ways than one. It really is changing at the moment. But the world is also changing in the way we view diet. And I think we're becoming more mature and more conscious as a society. And that's why I wanted to make this course, because at the end of the day, to make a switch to a plant-based diet, we need motivation. We need inspiration. We definitely need to know why we're doing it. We need to know what we're doing it for. We need to know how we're doing it, how to do it, sorry. And there are also lots of objections that people will throw at us when we want to make a decision. So I decided to create this course because I thought there would be lots of people who might be interested in having guidance while making the switch, because sometimes it can feel a little bit like we're swimming upstream, and it's nice to have a resource and support and motivation from somebody who's been through the same process that you're now wanting to go on. And this is of course what happened to me. 5 years ago I decided to I'd already been on a vegetarian diet and I decided to switch to a vegan diet. And I had no idea of just how brilliant the whole thing would turn out to be. But it was a journey, and I made lots of mistakes at the beginning. And that was my motivation for this course, to make it easier for you to make the change that I made without making all the mistakes. So I'd just like briefly to give you an overview of the course. And first of all, there's module 1, which is all about why. Why would we want to go vegan? Why would we want to do such a crazy thing? And there are actually 3 unbelievably compelling reasons to move to a vegan diet. And module 1 covers all these 3. And by the time you've finished module 1, you'll be fired up, you'll be motivated, you'll be ready to say, yes, this is what I want. I'm sick of doing this meat and dairy diet thing, and now I'm ready to embrace plants, and I'm motivated. So my real reason for doing module 1 was to give you that motivation to really say to yourself, yes, this is absolutely what I want. I'm more convinced than I've ever been that this is the right time for me. And it's a launch pad. So in module 2, we think about habits. It's true, isn't it, that it's very, very difficult for us to change habits, and no habit is more ingrained than our eating habits. So module 2 is fantastic because it takes us through habit change. But what I've done is I've related it to habit change around diet, around a plant-based diet. So we consider the best approach to make our wishes come true. So our desire is to switch to a plant-based diet, of course, but we want to make sure that it's a lasting change. There's no point in us rushing out and going all in at the beginning if we're not going to see it through. Ultimately, our objective is to become the person that we want to be, isn't it? And so we need a plan, we need a perspective, and we need some guidance, and that is why Module 2 is so good because it gives us a roadmap about how we can make the changes in our diet that will end up making sure that we in a year's time or in 6 months' time or whatever goal we've set ourselves, that we reach that objective. So yeah, that's module 2. Module 3 is about getting started. So we've fired ourselves up in module 1. We know why and what and how. In module 2, we've learned about the changes that we can make to make habits develop easily and quickly. And now in module 3, it's about getting started. So we're going to think about the things that make the most sense, how we can do it, depending on what situation you're in. Maybe you're single, maybe you're as part of a family, maybe you live with somebody else, or in a shared living arrangement. So depending on what situation you're in, getting started needs a little bit of thinking about and needs a little bit of planning, and that's what we look at in module 3. In module 4, we take a look at the recipes. Now we start to get into the delicious things. I mean, it's true, isn't it, that when we think of a plant-based diet, all we can think of is that pathetic looking piece of lettuce and a few tomatoes. But the truth is, a plant-based diet is the most delicious, nutritious, healthy diet you can possibly go on. And the food, trust me, is absolutely delicious. So in this module, we look at delicious breakfast recipes, we look at lunch recipes, we look at dinner recipes, we look at meal prep, we look at snacks, and there are lots and lots of suggestions, lots of resources, so you can start to get cooking and experimenting and exploring. In module 5, we think about social situations. So we've all got friends, haven't we? Well, hopefully. We've all got family, and we've all got colleagues and people we know, and we will, when we switch to a plant-based diet, it can create certain situations that we need to know how to navigate them. And this is a great module because it's about motivating others, it's about setting an example, but without causing any friction, without getting into any arguments, and just making the whole thing nice and smooth, and like I said, an inspiration for other people, because that's part of what we're doing, isn't it? It's not, we're doing it for ourselves, and there are lots and lots of really, really compelling reasons that we're moving to a plant-based diet, which of course we will look at in module 1. But also it's about being an inspiration for other people. And when people see that we're making such a positive change in our lives, we want them to see that and think about it, embracing it for themselves. So that's module 5. Module 6 is about health. The reason that I got into a plant-based diet in the first place was for health reasons. Not because I was ill at that moment, but because I was trying to prevent heart problems later down the road, because heart disease runs in our family, or in my family. And what I uncovered was absolutely mind-blowing. The difference that a plant-based diet can make. And so in module 6, we look at each of the different health problems, especially chronic diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, all these chronic diseases that are plaguing society today. And we take a look at them one by one, and we look at how a plant-based diet can help, some of the ingredients that we should be adding, the super ingredient that most people have no idea just how fantastically mind-blowing this ingredient is. Most people have no idea, but we cover that as well. So yeah, in module 6 we look at health. In module 7 we take a look at weight loss. So one of the really surprising things about a plant-based diet is that it can be used, and when done in the right way, it's one of the only diets in the world where we can eat as much as we want and still lose weight. And so this is a fantastic module as well. If you're interested in losing a little bit of weight, then this module is brilliant, because we take a look at all the reasons why we've got all these problems with obesity and being overweight. We go through why it's not our fault, but we also look at the practical things that we can do and how we can eat to make sure that we are incredibly healthy, but also that we lose weight at the same time. So it's just a win-win-win-win-win. And lastly, in module 8, it's a big module, module 8, because believe me, there are lots of objections. And module 8 is about objections. So people will say to you, oh, that sounds brilliant, but where are you going to get your protein? That's just one of the objections. There's actually nearly 30 objections in this module. And each module each lesson will go through each objection one at a time, so that when you're out there and when you're entertaining people, when you're talking to people and somebody throws up an obscure objection, you're ready to bat that objection back and you'll have a nice answer for it. Actually, it's very nice to have that. It's an important thing, because otherwise we can feel a little bit alone sometimes. And when we know the reasons that we're doing it, and when we know the answer to all the objections, it gives us a lot more confidence to go out there and realize the change that we want to make in our lives. So yeah, that was a very, very brief overview of the course, which encompasses more than 100 lessons. There are more than 100 videos. It's hopefully entertaining. I've tried to add pictures and videos and remarks, and I've tried to add a little bit of humor where I can. And yeah, I really hope, my sincere hope is that it motivates some people, even if just 1 or 2 people find my course fantastic and it helps them to make the change. Then that's such a nice thought for me, because to be honest, when I switched from the diet I was on to a vegan diet, I think I can really safely say it was the best decision I've ever made, because it opened my eyes to so much more in the world. It made me question everything, especially around food and diet. You feel better. I have a better energy. You feel more in balance with the world. So I really hope that I can pass on this to you, and that you will be able to enjoy those same feelings. At the end of the day, this is an investment. Nothing is more important than your health. You can have all the money you want, but at the end of the day, health is priceless. And when we switch to a plant-based diet, we are investing in our future, but we're also investing in the future of the planet. We're also investing in the future of mankind. I know this sounds really dramatic, but it's true. And you'll find out why in module 1. This is the best investment you can ever make. Forget about any other course, any other thing you've thought about doing in your life. I promise you, if you can find the energy and the motivation to make this switch, you'll never go back. You'll feel good about yourself. You'll feel confident. You'll feel in balance, and people will look up to you and respect you, and you are moving in the direction of the consciousness of the world. God, that sounded a bit woohoo. I'm from Sheffield, but I don't know where that came from. But yeah, I really hope that you find this course inspiring and motivating. Like I say, it's a fantastic investment in your future. The best decision I've ever made, without question. And yeah, please give it a try. And I'd love to hear feedback. Please write to me, message me, say something in the group. I really would appreciate your feedback, and even if it's you've got some criticisms, I'd still like to hear it. So thank you very much. I hope to see you inside the group. I hope to be able to chat to you in the group we've got together, and yeah, have a good time and enjoy the course. Thank you very much. Bye bye.